virtually everybody would want to find out where the hometown is, and then you can go there too. And all right, a quick introduction. We have amongst us the Traditional Medicine Practice Council. Their members are represented here, and let's acknowledge you. Please stand up. Let's see you and acknowledge you. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And then we also have our keynote speaker. He's actually in our midst. He is in the person of Honorable Alan Chermanting, the Minister for Trade and Industry. Okay, so this is where we get into the presentations. The presentations we're going to have, that's going to tell you a whole lot more about KOA Mixture Reloaded. And the first presentation is going to be by Dr. KOFI Donkor. Let's give him a warm round of applause. In fact, a really, really good one as he makes his way here. Let's sustain it. Let's sustain it. Let's sustain it. As he makes his way. So in a series of presentations started by him, we're going to get to understand what KOA, or what makes KOA Mixture Reloaded so special. Thank you very much. All right, so Dr. KOFI Donkor, he's a research scientist at the Center for Plant Medicine Research, Mampong, Ekwapim. Can we get his microphone activated for him? He would want to use the lapel. Is it activated?
The control room, please, can we have the presentation? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much. Nana Chairperson, Honorable Ministers of State, Prof. Duncan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My presentation is on chronic toxicity studies on KOA mixture. And this study was done at my office at the Center for Plant Medicine Research in the Pharmacology Toxicology Department. Please, shall we roll and start? Just briefly to try and introduce, apart from recordings in the Bible, herbal medicine or natural medicine has been with us for a very long time. In fact, the Egyptians and Chinese have record of use of herbal medicine in as far back as 3,000 years before Christ. The interesting thing when it comes to natural products or herbal medicine is that throughout the world, a particular plant, irrespective of where it grows, what medicinal activity that it has, wherever you find it, you are likely to find that activity. So let's say Cryptolepis is in Ghana. It's for malaria. If it's able to grow in China, it's likely to have the same activity. Now, briefly, let me try and take us through the evolution of medicine or drugs in general. Now, 2,000 years before Christ, assuming you go to the doctor and you complain of pain, let's say typically an earache, and you tell doctor I have an earache, 2,000 years before Christ, he's likely to tell you, here, take this root. If we come down 3,000 years after that, which is 1,000 years after Christ, if you go to the doctor with the same complaint, he is likely to tell you, here, say a prayer. Now, this is a time where superstition was very rife, and we pray for all our ailments. 800 years down the line, if you go to the doctor with the same complaint, he's likely to tell you, here, take a potion, and telling you that your prayer that we were having previously is superstitious. Now, this was the beginning of alchemy. So then we began putting together some potions or preparations as drugs. 40 years down the line, if you come to around the 1940s with the same complaint, he'll tell you that potion is poison. Here, take a pill. Now we have developed medicine further, so we have proper drugs, so pills will give you. Down the line, 10 years after that, in 1955, when we stumbled on antibiotics, and antibiotics became the wonder product of our lives, and everything is cured with antibiotics. The doctor would tell you, no, the pill is not effective. Here, have an antibiotic. And then, if we come to the 2000s, where we are now, he's likely to tell you the antibiotic is artificial. Here, take this route. See where we started from. No, let's stay here. See where we started from. 2,000 years before Christ, the doctor will give you roots. Today, after going around and doing all the gymnastics, we have noticed that what we need is roots. Let's go to the next one. Now, to tell you about the value of medicinal plants, the Honorable Deputy Minister of Health tried to make some references. From the records, in the year 2017, and I believe this will be important to our special guest speaker, the Honorable Minister of Trade. In 2017, the global market value for botanical and plant-derived drugs was almost $30 billion. It was estimated to grow up to almost $40 billion by the end of this year. In 2016, we estimate that almost $200 billion was realized from nutraceuticals. And the estimation is that by the end of last year, it will grow up to $285 billion. The WHO projects that by 2050, the global market value annually for natural products or herbal products will be $5 trillion. Now pause a moment and think about $5 trillion. And if Ghana will be able to contribute just 1% of that, just 1% of that. And let me say that having worked at the center for close to 20 years, one of the things that I can tell you confidently is that virtually every Ghanaian plant you see has some medicinal value. Ghana is one of the countries with the most diverse medicinal plants in this world. So if we want to work at it, we can easily do that 1% I'm talking about. So let's come back to KOFI, and let me actually bring it home what really we did on KOFI. So I said from the beginning, our study was on the chronic toxicity studies of KOFI. What did we do? We took the product, KOFI mixture, and then we freeze-dried it. KOFI mixture is a liquid product. So we have a piece of equipment in our lab that can dry all the liquid, and we have the solid residue that is left. So that's what we did. And after drying, we reconstituted the dried residue in water. And then we administered this to laboratory animals at a dose of 0.28 milligram per kilogram body weight. Now, 0.28 milligram per kilogram body weight is the therapeutic dose. And then we also administered 2.8 milligram per kilogram body weight, which is 10 times the therapeutic dose. And we also did 5.6 milligram per kilogram body weight, which is 20 times the therapeutic dose. Now, we administered these to groups of rats on a daily basis for 6 months. Now, during that period, we did a number of things. We weighed animals on a weekly basis. We took urine samples on a weekly basis where we analyzed the urine samples. On the start of the work, 3 months and 6 months, we took blood samples. And from the blood samples, we did whole blood assay, where we look at the hematological indices. We prepared serum out of the blood sample, and we analyzed for biochemical indices. At the end of the 6th month, we also sacrificed the animals. We took their internal organs, and then we did a histological analysis. And then we also did some drug interactive studies at the end of the 6th month. So basically, this is what we did in terms of chronic studies. Now, this is what we found out. So this data is for at the end of the 6th month. Like I said, we have data for the beginning of the work, 3rd month and 6th month. This data we see here is the percentage body weight. So we are giving these animals this preparation for 6 months. We want to study and see what effect the drug is having on the body weight. We noticed that for the therapeutic dose, there wasn't any significant difference between the control, which is the first line, the first dark line, and then the yellow. But for the 20 times the therapeutic dose, we noticed that after the 3rd month, the drug reduced the body weight of the laboratory animals significantly. But not so for the therapeutic dose and then the 20 times the therapeutic dose. This is wet organ weight when we compare it to the whole body weight of the animals. Now, this is significant because when you have problems with your organ, it's likely to enlarge. And when it enlarges, the weight of your organ compared to the body weight will reduce. And then, or one way is it can shrink where the weight of the organ compared to the body weight will go up. So this data is for 6 months. Now, the data for 3 months is not different from this. So data for 6 months, when you look at the controls, which is the first column, and you compare to the therapeutic dose, the 10 times the therapeutic dose, and the 20 times the therapeutic dose, there are no significant difference between the controls and all the 3 different dose levels that we give. This means that the product or the KOFI mixture did not affect the organs of these animals. So they did not enlarge or they did not shrink in size. Now, this is serum biochemical analysis, and this is also for the 6th month. And again, this data is not different from the 3rd month. So we have data for the 3rd month. This is also data for the 6th month. It's the same. Again, here we notice that for the biochemical indices, and these are, again, indices of organ-specific damages. If you have damage to your organs, these biochemical indices will go up. And again, for all the 3 dose levels that we administered, there were no difference between the controls and the test. This is the whole blood assay analysis, the hematological indices. So this is where we have interesting results. For the white blood cells, we notice that, so we have, this is data for the 6th month. Now, data for the 3rd month, the drug did not have any effect on the blood parameters for the 3 months. But this is data for the 6th month. If you look at the first index, which is white blood cells, we notice that the drug reduced the white blood cells in a dose-dependent manner. Okay, so you see the control is 12.1. The therapeutic dose is 11.3. The 10 times the therapeutic dose is 10.3. And then the 20 times came down to 9.1. So the white cells reduced in a dose-dependent manner. But you see this reduction only after 3 months. In the first 3 months, there was no reduction. This, of course, will reflect when you look at the white cells differentiation. So in lymphocyte count, which is the last but one index, we also see a dose-dependent reduction in the white cells count. Of course, you also expect that this will result in some effect in the mean cell volume. So the mean cell volume at the 20 times the therapeutic dose also increased. Now, what this means is that after 3 months, the drug at the higher doses, that is the 10 times the therapeutic dose and the 20 times the therapeutic dose, affected homeostasis, that is blood cell production. Now, if I didn't say this, I would have been worried. I would have been worried if I didn't say this. Because it is claimed that this product is for the treatment of HIV/AIDS. We know that AIDS drugs are very toxic in nature. And so if you say you have a preparation for AIDS, and I run all these assays, and everything is so beautiful, it doesn't look like the normal AIDS drug that I see in the lab, then I'll be worried. But the good thing is, at the therapeutic dose, you don't have any effect. Okay, so this to a long extent to say, assuming I was running this for a typical HIV drug, the therapeutic dose, I wouldn't see a beautiful picture like this. I'll see some toxicity. Okay, good. Let's go. Okay, so this is the last set of data I'm going to show you. So we looked at internal organs. So we look at kidney, we look at the liver, we look at spleen, and we look at the heart. So I'm showing you the data for kidney. And I'm specifically showing you the data for kidney because of this general notion we have that herbal preparations cause kidney damage. So these are laboratory animals that we give corn mixture on a daily basis for 6 months continuously, daily basis for 6 months. And this is the result. I wish I had a pointer. If you analyze this carefully, assuming I have a pointer, I'll show you. You see that for these are kidney. The A is for control, B is for the therapeutic dose, C is 10 times the therapeutic dose, and D is 20 times the therapeutic dose. Now, if you look at this carefully, especially with a trained eye, you will notice that all your renal tubules are intact. If you compare your control to the test, all your renal tubules are intact. We don't have a pointer. All your renal tubules are intact. Your bone marrow capsules also are intact, and your glomerulus are intact when you compare your control to your test subjects. So basically, morphologically, the drug did not have any harmful effect on the kidney. Like I've said, we've done this analysis for other internal organs, kidney, liver, heart, and lungs. And the data is the same for all of this. So in conclusion, I'll say that if you give CoA-FX at the therapeutic dose, that is the prescribed dose, upon prolonged administration, it will not have any deleterious effect in laboratory animals, specifically in rats. So we can extrapolate that in humans it may be safe, or in humans it may not have deleterious effect, because in laboratory animals we see the data at the therapeutic dose, it does not have any deleterious effect. Now, earlier in my introduction, I was talking about the market value of herbal medicine. And I think that we can actually use herbal medicine as a tool to promote this country economically. Let's ask ourselves, Let's ask ourselves, what is our debt burden? That's one of the things that we are all about. Where is Israel? What's our debt, Ghana's total debt today? Somewhere in April, the IMF was talking about 351 billion cedis. The monetary policy just finished. I think they are talking about 390-something billion cedis. That's our debt burden as a nation. Now, if you divide that, say you take even the upper limit, and you divide it by the dollar rate today, around 7.5, 7.6, or 7.8. Someone should do the math for us. Take 390 billion cedis, and then divide it by 7.8. 390 divided by 7.8. What will you get? 390 divided by 7.8. We are trying to convert our debt to dollars. We get around what? 50. Did I hear 50? Okay. So this is even high estimate. So our debt stock now, since the days of Nkrumah to today, is about $50 billion. I said at the beginning that it is projected that by 2050, the global annual value for herbal products will be $5 trillion. So let's do 1% of that. Okay, 1% of $5 trillion. So 5 trillion times 0.01. You come back to the 50, right? You come back to the same 50, right? Those doing the maths. Okay. So you see, actually, just herbal medicine alone, if we work hard at it, and we get just a little fragment of the global value, say just 1%, it can wipe out our entire national debt. Our entire national debt, it can wipe it out. So you see, when I work at Mampo, and I have a lot of people come to me. I'm head of research and innovation, and they tell me, Kofi, you are sitting on gold. And I say, yes, sir, I know. I know I'm sitting, I know Mampo, we are sitting on gold. And this is why we are sitting on gold. That if we get just 1% of global value of herbal medicine, even just 1 year, our entire debt from Kwame Nkrumah to today, we can just wipe it off. So we are a very rich nation. We are a very rich nation. So we can all work to support herbal medicine to make us grow and be richer. Let me end by saying that something that Victor Hugo said. He is a French poet and novelist. He says, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. I started by showing you 2,000 years before Christ, we were using herbal medicine. We went round. Today, 2,000. It is time for herbal medicine again. This is an idea that will not fail. If we support and if we all work towards it, we will break through as a nation. Thank you very much. I would want to thank my colleagues in the pharmacology department and our technicians in the pharmacology department who helped to put this work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Donko, for the insightful presentation. And Deladem, from what Dr. Kofi Donko was saying, it sounds to me like if we actually take herbal medicine really seriously, we'll get so much money, we probably would not need e-levy. Is that what I heard him say?
Okay.
That's just by the way. Okay, so we're going on. We have a very important presentation.
Yeah.
And the presentation, if you look at the designation, you see founder and CEO of Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. But there's a whole lot more to Professor Samuel Ato Duncan. So tell me, this one is just one of them. Give me the rundown.
Thank you very much. This man keeps interviewing me. And Professor Samuel Ato Duncan is the founder of the Center of Awareness Global Peace Mission, an organization that seeks to promote peace globally. And if you recall, a couple of weeks ago, we launched the 5-year strategic plan, which is going to reach out to the rest of the world. Besides that, it's also the CEO, as you rightly said, and founder of the Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited, the founder and the brain behind Core Mixture. He's also the founder of Core Medical and Diagnostic Clinics here in Ghana.
Deladem, at this rate, if we're going to give you the opportunity to do the introductions, we'll never leave here.
You see?
Let's just bring Prof on board.
Thank you very much. Professor Samuel Ato Duncan, a.k.a. Nana Abadio.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nana Chairman, Rep of Gamanche, Nana Meta Bonsu, representing Otunfo Osei-Tutu, Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Alan Shematin, Deputy Health Minister, the General Secretary of GovTram, my Board Chairman, Dasibre Kwebwewusi, Head of Department, Herbal Medicine, KNUST, Professor Isaac Ayensu, President, Ghana Association of Medical Herbalists, Representative of Director General Services, Ghana Police Service, Vice Dean, School of Pharmacy, Dr. Robert Peter Baine, President GovTram, Secretary GovTram Nana Obri, Director of Traditional and Alternative Medicine Directorate, Center for Plant Medicine Research. I think I was expecting the director. Is he here at the moment? Let me see you. Oh, you are welcome. I don't know you. Dr. Kwesi Buedu, researcher at the University of KwaZulu-Natal University. Professor Manimbulu Inoto, researcher at the University of Limpopo, South Africa. Let me see you. The media, ladies and gentlemen, the all protocol duly reserved. I had to come in to give my speech before the other presentations, because I want to speak before Minister goes. Because Minister will be giving his the keynote address, and he has to listen to some presentations before he goes. But I must actually welcome him as the founder of KOA, and also to tell him what we have for him and the government of Ghana. So I have to jump and come and do this moment. Then I think after that the presentations will follow. Nana Chairman Gamanche, I think my beautiful daughter, the first deputy CEO of KOA Research and Manufacturing Company Limited, that is the second deputy CEO, and the first deputy is also here. All the staff duly acknowledged. Nana Gamanche, special guest of honor, His Royal Majesty Otunfo Osei-Tutu. He was supposed to come, and he told me that he would let Nana Mesa Bonsu come and represent him. So Otunfo is right here with us. So let's give a round of applause for Otunfo for being here. Minister of Health, Minister of Trade and Industry, GovTram, President, fellow colleagues, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you once again to this important and memorable occasion. I bring you salutations from the Center of Awareness Global Peace Mission and KOA Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. Nana Chairman, it will interest you to note that the Center of Awareness Global Peace Mission is an institution that seeks to address issues confronting peace globally. It was established in 1988 and registered as an NGO in the year 2000. We identified diseases that have no cure as one of the major threats to global peace, hence the establishment of KOFI Research and Manufacturing Company Limited to research and develop natural products to help treat some of the diseases that the world is finding difficult to treat, as well as improve the use of plant medicine in Ghana, Africa, and the world at large. Nana Chairman, our health globally has to be given critical and serious attention since it's one of the major areas that affect global peace. Once you are sick, your peace is affected. Diseases are killing people more than wars. Even though death is inevitable, some deaths are untimely. During the outbreak of Ebola, 28,616 cases were recorded, out of which 11,310 died in Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. We were there. We were in Sierra Leone by then, and we were able to save some of the lives of people who actually contracted the virus. We were able to treat some. About 100 people were treated with our medication. But let me give you some serious correction. It is not cure for HIV, neither cure for antiviral disease. This is actually, it was prepared for our general well-being. Nana Chairman, approximately 6.3 million people have died untimely from COVID-19 as of 21st May 2022. And 6.3 million of lives have been taken untimely by the COVID-19. And this should tell you that looking for world peace, we should also look for medication to treat some of these diseases that the world is finding it very difficult to treat. The World Health Organization estimates that 296 million people were living with chronic hepatitis B infection in 2019, with 1.5 million new infections each year. In 2019 alone, 820,000 people died of hepatitis B infections. In the year 2000, an estimated 19.3 million new cancer cases and over 10 million cancer deaths were recorded. I therefore strongly believe that research into finding remedies to illness should be encouraged and heavily supported. Nana Chairman, KOFI Minister that has brought all of us here today is a well-researched plant medicine that is scientifically developed and approved by FDA as a medicine for your general well-being. This is what we want to stress on. It's a medicine for your general well-being. I think the minister spoke of the oversight committee set by the government to do some kind of evaluation into finding cure for HIV. But that involves a lot of medications, the 72, the mixture, we have the intravenous, muscular, and oral administration for treatment of HIV/AIDS. And that research has not been concluded. So we don't have any cure for HIV at the moment on the market. What we have on the market is for your general well-being, and that is why we are here. So I don't want anybody to misquote me or misquote any presenter that we are saying that the KOFI mixture is for cure for HIV. Maybe it could be, but today it is not. It is for your general well-being. The KOFI mixture is so powerful that it preserves itself and has unique phytochemicals that can support your immune system for healthy living. So here we are talking about the healthy living, and other scientists will talk about what the KOFI mixture can do. World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So medicine for your general well-being is, like KOFI, is what everybody needs for his or her general well-being. Whether you are sick or not, you need KOFI mixture for good health. KOFI mixture, Nana Chairman, is one of the best medicines the world has ever produced because of the numerous evidence-based testimonies from its users. Nana Chairman, this is a very interesting part. The hint I'm giving to the Minister of Trade and Industry, to Nananum, and to all of you here is that KOFI Research and Manufacturing Company Limited is close to a research breakthrough. When successful, Ghana stands to realize not less than $32 billion annually from this plant medicine. This will bring economic relief to Ghana and also get treatment for some diseases the world is struggling to treat. But that medicine is not out yet. We are close to the breakthrough when we finish. And that is why I have to go with the medical doctors. You know, there's a gap between the plant medicine producers, the plant medicine prescribers, and the medical orthodox medicine prescribers. The gap is going to be bridged today. Medicines are for treatment, but you know, medical herbalists or orthodox medical practitioners, they don't manufacture medicines. They prescribe. So if there is no proper scientific data or parameters guiding the use of a product, prescribing that medicine is very difficult. And that is why orthodox practitioners are not prepared to prescribe traditional medicines. But today, I'm telling you that this is why we are here. We want to bridge the gap because some herbal products, like KOFI mixture, has been scientifically developed with proper parameters, scientific parameters, and data to support the use of the product. So every medical doctor can prescribe KOFI mixture without any problem at all. So I think the GMA president, GMA is represented, and I think you have to tell your colleagues that we are coming to all your hospitals and you have to prescribe plant medicines. But we have data to support what we have produced, and because of that, you will get the results, and it will help us also to collect data for further development of the product. Nana Chairman, this initiative, which started from 2005, has never received any financial support from any institution, both inside and outside Ghana. We are therefore calling on government of Ghana, Minister of Trade and Industry, you are here, so I don't know, you are there. Since you are here, if I want to talk to God, I will talk to Jesus. So I'm talking to Jesus today. That we can realize $32 billion annually. And I will definitely demonstrate it to you when you give us the opportunity to go there. And Ghana can realize $32 billion every year. So let us take this thing very serious. We have the plants around us, and we can make very good use of them to build Mother Ghana. Since we want to rely on made in Ghana products, then let us patronize what we produce here. And that is why we are adding value, we are adding research, we are adding science. So so that it can compete internationally. Because Kua mixture is everywhere in the world. Then people are taking, and there are no serious, you have not even gotten any serious side effects yet. So let's see what we can make out of this. We are therefore calling on the government of Ghana, research institutions in and out the country, as well as investors, to join hands with us to carry this vision to reality. I think so far we are collaborating with KNUST, University of Johannesburg, I think UCC, CCTU, and other research. I think other researchers are also from South Africa. They're also collaborating with us. And we believe that at the end of the day, we are going to make something good from what we are doing, and it will benefit the mother Ghana. Now, Chairman, we have acquired 1,000 acres of land in Ashanti region to cultivate raw materials. And we are going to need another 9,000 acres of land for cultivation of raw materials to produce crop products to meet the international market. I think Nana Mensa Bonsu is here, and he can attest to that fact that for now, the Ashanti region has given us about 1,000 acres. And this shows how serious the Ashanti region is also towards the development of herbal medicines. And Nana, is it true or false? It's true. Oh, listen to Nana. Take this into Nana. Come.
It is very true.
Because of sustainability, 1,000 acres have been acquired so far, and we're going to, because we want to realize the $32 billion every year for Ghana. That is why now we need about 10,000, 9,000 to add up to the 1,000 we already have, and we move into serious business. Now, Chairman, research and development, known in other countries as research and technological development, is when businesses gather knowledge to create new products and discover new ways of improving their existing products and services. This is why I entreat researchers and research institutions to collaborate with plant medicine manufacturers to improve the quality of herbal medicines and develop new plant-based medicines for socio-economic development of Ghana. Researchers, you have to stand up. This is the time to fight for Mother Ghana, and you have all it takes to help us do that. So let us collaborate. I therefore donate 100,000 Ghana cedis to GAFTRAM to support members who have potential medicines that do not have sufficient funds to go through the process of evaluation and registration. This will reduce herbal preparations in circulation without FDA approval, and also improve the image of herbal medicines in Ghana, as well as improve the use of plant medicines in and outside Ghana. The reason why is, people undermining the herbal medicine industry too much. And it's all because some of the herbalists just take medicines, put them into bottles, and start circulating. This can do ABC, and a doctor will tell you, you took this medication and you are suffering from this. Because there are no scientific data and parameters regarding the use of the drug. And it affects those who are manufacturing drugs, the herbal medicine, through the proper ways, through proper evaluation, research, and development. So this is the way. For now, anybody who is caught selling any product that has not been scientifically evaluated, evaluated and approved by FDA. When FDA approves, nobody can condemn it. So any doctor who condemns any herbal medicine will be in trouble. Once FDA has approved it, It means that you are supposed to prescribe. Yeah, you may, if you want, you prescribe, but you cannot condemn. But those we all will condemn are medicines that do not have any scientific data or approval from FDA. And they are the people I'm going to support today to start filming this. Now, Chairman, let me seize this opportunity to officially appoint. This one is coming as a surprise. But Nana, this one is direct to you. I'm seizing this opportunity to appoint a special guest, royal guest of honor, Otunfo Osei-Tutu II, the Asantehene of Asante Kingdom, to be, and with all respect, to be the patron of Kwame because of his support to Kwame in development. And now this one, you are going to accept it. Because I know how we have dealt with you and the 241 the way forward of plant medicine. We need people who support innovations. We need people to push innovations to a successful end. And this Nana, His Majesty Otunfo Osei-Tutu, is the one I know very well that if he's behind the Kwa mixture we've already had, as a patron, Kwa mixture will go far and far because of so far his support. So Nana, today we put the decision on your neck, and we believe that you are going to be behind the Kwa mixture and going to be the patron of Kwa mixture to make sure that we get to where we have to get to. On this note, I entreat everyone here to take Kwa mixture. I also request that Ghanaians at home and everywhere across the globe should start taking Kwa mixture for their general well-being. Nana Chairman, today is African Union Day, and the theme is strengthening resilience in nutrition and food security on the African continent. Strengthening agro-food system, health and social protection of human, social and economic capital development. Seriously, we wouldn't have gotten any better day than today to celebrate natural products. Therefore, we all need the Kwa mixture. Today is a special day for AU, and we all need the Kwa mixture. And let me take the last opportunity also to tell our numerous clients, agents, distributors, that there are some people who are also taking advantage of a hard-won reputation. The Kwa is so popular. We've invested so much in the Kwa, and people just take advantage because Kwa looks like water. Anybody can prepare anything close to it and come and tell you that they are working with Kwa, they are working with Kwa, and they are also producing same and even working better than. Nobody knows the formula of Kwa. The Kwa mixture has a unique formula that is known by me myself. I don't think anybody, people go to, that's also the reason why we are, people go to pharmacy shops, agents, call them and tell them that, oh, we are working with Kwa, and I have decided to do mine. I'm telling you, it's not possible. And I don't want to go my bet. Because I don't want anybody to be taking any fake product in the name of Kwa. Product can be produced, I don't have no idea. I don't have any interest to condemn. But when anybody says he was working with me and has produced the same thing cannot be produced by anybody. I know the formula, and the formula is with us. So take very good note of that. And let's see how we can protect the core mixture, protect our lives, and protect our clients. Thank you very much.
Gaftram. 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 Hey, what's it there? Nana Okoji Bibidro. Nana Eduful. And then the Madame Ufie.
All right, so thank you very much. I think there were a number of significant things that were said, one of them being the donation that was announced.
Okay.
All right, so it's just so well that your check is ready.
Gaftram, executives. Gaftram. So Prof and the core RMCL is donating an amount of 100,000 Ghana cedis in support of the activities of Gaftram, especially in the area of research. The donation is going to support individual herbalists whose products are yet to be certified by the regulatory authorities. Take notes. That is the General Secretary, Nana Kojo Obri, Okuji Abibidro, flanked by Dasibra Kwebu LC, the board chair. So this is what is happening today. Thank you very much. Professor says this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Greater things are yet to come. Bro.
All right, thank you very much, Deladem. And whilst Prof was speaking, he had messages that he wanted to send to God, and he sent out the messages. There was one that was supposed to go to Asante Hene and has been delivered. There's one that's supposed to go to the government. And our keynote speaker, who for this afternoon, I'm going to say he is the Jesus to deliver the message to the government, is ready to give us his keynote address. Let's give him a round of applause. Honorable Alan Tremanting. Please, you can do better.
Nana Chairman, the representative of Otumfuo Asante Nana Mensa Bonsu, the representative of the Gamanche, Nana Chair of the Board of Kwa Research and Manufacturing Company, my brother, Professor Samuel Ato Duncan, and the leadership of Kwa Research and Manufacturing Company, representatives from the scientific community in Ghana, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. You would agree with me that with the very extensive presentation made by my colleague, the Deputy Minister for Health, as well as the remarks by Professor, and also the very brilliant presentation by our friend from the Plant Medicine Center in Ekwapim. I'm not sure that you need any address. I'm not sure you need any address, so I'll make some very brief remarks. First, I would like to commend Professor and his team for the work that they are doing to support the development of our country. My ministry is pleased to be associated with what Professor is doing for 5 reasons. First, It is one of the strategic anchor sectors that Ghana is developing to diversify our economy from cocoa and gold. The manufacturing of pharmaceuticals is one of the new strategic sectors that Ghana is developing. Because for our country to depend for over 100 years on only two commodities clearly should tell us that this is not sustainable going forward. So we need to diversify our economy. And that is why recently you've been hearing about the development of the automobile and vehicle assembly plant. The pharmaceutical manufacturing industry is one of these new strategic anchor industries. And what Professor is doing is at the center of this new strategic industry that we are developing. And that's why government is interested. We are also interested because what he is doing and the development of plant medicine in general will help create jobs. We all know that one of the most difficult challenges confronting us as a country is unemployment. What Professor is doing and what other manufacturing companies in the plant medicine space are doing will not just create jobs, but will create high-quality skilled jobs. So we are talking about enhancing science, mathematics, engineering, and technology, STEM education. We are talking about technical and vocational education. Where are we going to employ these new graduates who are going to come out of these schools? It is only through the effort of Professor and other companies that are going into the manufacturing industry that would open up job opportunities for all these people who are coming out of our scientific institutions. So government is interested in that. Thirdly, if you listen to the scientific presentation and what Prof has said, it is also contributing to research and development. We know that globally, the WHO estimates that about 80% of the global population depend on plant medicine. See, here in Ghana, when you talk about herbal medicine, people give a different connotation to it. If you call it plant medicine, globally, it raises the bar. But it's just a question of nomenclature. It's a question of nomenclature. There are professors in plant medicine, but you may not hear about a professor in herbal medicine. But it's all about the same thing. And if 80% of the global population depend on plant medicine or herbal medicine, then it is important that if Professor and his colleagues are researching and creating innovative products, then we should be interested in supporting them. Because it's the research and development that creates innovative products. So that's why government is also interested. But it goes beyond that. Ghana produces only about 30% of our requirements for medicines and drugs. So we import almost 70% of our requirements, which is not acceptable. And so every effort made by entrepreneurs in Ghana to manufacture pharmaceutical products which will reduce our import bill, government will support those efforts. It also goes beyond reducing imports. A friend from the Plant Medicine Center, was talking about the market value for pharmaceuticals peaking at 5 trillion by 2050. And what he's saying is not politics or cosmetics. It is true. And so if Ghana can focus on developing pharmaceutical products, including plant medical products, the potential for export is very significant. Even if we don't make 1%, and we make 0.0001% of it, it will help reduce our debt burden and help us earn foreign exchange, which is the only way we can support our currency. So that's also important for us as a government. He talked about revenue mobilization. Now, Professor is whetting our appetite for us to expect $32 billion when his new innovation comes onto the market. Prof, we are going to work with you on that. As a result of all the benefits that we can derive from the pharmaceutical industry, the government is actively supporting companies to enhance their standards, quality standards, to WHO Global Manufacturing Practices Standard, so that they can export their products globally. So currently, there are 3 companies that are working with government to get to the level of WHO GMP standards. And I'm very hopeful that very soon, KUA Research and Manufacturing Company will also get into that category of companies that will reach WHO GMP standard. But why is it that in spite of all the benefits to be derived from herbal plant medicine, there is still that stigma associated with plant and herbal medicine? From what we have heard, there is absolutely no basis for that. But those of you in the herbal and plant medicine space, you have to make a contribution to reduce and eliminate that stigma. And you can only do that by following the example of Professor Samuel Ato Duncan, by actively working with regulatory agencies, opening up his manufacturing industry for scientific analysis. If you are keeping what you have close to your chest because you feel that it is dangerous to expose what you have and the knowledge you have, how do people then have the confidence in what you produce? And so this is my charge to you, those of you in the industry. It starts with the phytochemical and biochemical analysis of your products. It is not enough to say that it was passed on to you by your great-grandfather. If you want it to become a mainstream product like KUA mixture, you have to be able to subject it to phytochemical and biochemical analysis. Secondly, you have to be prepared to subject it to therapeutic analysis, because part of the challenge with herbal medicine is in respect of dosage. When people have to prescribe it, they have to prescribe dosage that is consistent with the analysis of the disease that has been identified. So that is also very important. The gentleman from the plant Medicine Center was talking about therapeutic analysis. You need that. But you also need to expose your process technology. If you are making a preparation and using it for a limited number of people, you may not necessarily be interested in process manufacturing technology. But if you want to do mass production, which is what is going to give you money and income, then you have to adopt the type of process technology that is safe, that is efficient and effective. So there are many things that those of you in the plant medicine and herbal medicine community, there's work to be done. Let us confront that issue. But I'm very confident that with the leadership of Professor and many others, many unsung heroes all over the country who have not had the exposure to our country like Prof has had, with the leadership of these individuals, the future is bright for herbal and plant medicine. So I'd like, on behalf of His Excellency, the President, and on my own behalf and on behalf of my ministry, to assure you, Professor, that we are solidly behind you. And whatever we need to do to make sure that we take Kua mixture to global standards, we'll do the same. So God bless you, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. You can put your hands together for the Honorable Minister. In fact, this particular program has been dear to his heart and demonstrate his servant leadership.
Yeah. So certainly now that we have the minister, and you know the minister, as it is, he has performed his duties and he may want to leave, but we want him to not just go with a message from Prof, but he has to go with a new branded bottle of Kua mixture reloaded, which is why we're going to have the presentation and raid launch at this very moment.
And to help us do that, we have no main person than the Otumfuo Osei Tutu Asantemanra Nana Mensa Bonso Watiana Nanemo. Nana, we de sere say obe sorry na waba na wabe boyen. Together with the Honorable Minister and the board chair, we unveil. Nana might have a few words before the launch, so kindly allow Nana to come over. Okay. Nana is a young man. Put your hands together for Nana once again.
Oh, you can do better with that round of applause for Nana to come all the way here.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings from His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Asantehene. Otumfuo would have wished to be here at the invitation of his friend and brother, Professor Samuel Ato Duncan. But with the preceding rise towards Sunday's Akweside, he has asked me to be here. I will communicate the conferment of the patronage to him. I know Utumfo is solidly behind the core Mr. that is the COA GOP. And when the last time I went to Cape Coast and informed him about that, he wholeheartedly said, give them the land. I'm ready to help. So that's COA GPM has acquired 1,000 acres of land at my area. We are working on that, and very soon things will start there. I think the other presenters have said it all, and the minister also has supported, has said that the government will support this initiative, right? With the Sustainable Development Goals, especially the Development Goal 3, which talks about the well-being of everybody. Plant medicine now is the way forward. And we should all support Professor and his team to be able to lead the way forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nana. So we're now going to do the unveiling, and Nana will join Prof. and Alan Chairman, the Minister, Alan Chairman, so that we do the unveiling. So Nana, as you can see, that's the bottle right there, brand new bottle. You're going to be seeing it shortly. It's there in the corner. Keep your eyes on the prize, which is the bottle. Coa mixture reloaded, the medicine that works.
And Nana is known in private life as Professor Edward Bedu. He's a professor at the KNUST, a very learned man, of course, and is supporting Coa with 1,000 acres of land. He deserves to be celebrated.
Yes, certainly. We thank you very much, Nana.
Let me take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Alaji Sule, the Abaka Zongo chief. Nana, you are welcome. Alaji. We have a team from Prudential Bank, Odoko here. Are they here? Prudential Bank. Thank you for coming. We have our official travel partners, Maima Travel and Tours.
All right, so just keep your eyes over here. Otherwise, you can also watch the LED screens that have been mounted as the unveiling happens. Yes, there you have it.
That is. I declare the COA relaunch duly done. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I believe it's beautiful. Take the pictures.
Thank you very much. So you'd realize as the dignitaries move away, then you can have a much better shot or view of the new KOA mixture reloaded, the medicine that works. There you have it.
Yeah.
In all splendor. Improved KOA mixture reloaded. The medicine that works. I think we can all give a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Israel, I'd like to break a little protocol.
All right.
By inviting the rep of the Ghana Medical Association here to tell us something quick. The rep of the Ghana Medical Association. Wow. A rep from the Ghana Medical Association. He has a message for us. Let's hear you introduce yourself.
All right, great. So now that you've had a good shot, can we all move away and get settled so that we have the speech from the rep of the Ghana Medical Association? He just has a short word, and then we can continue.
Nana Chairman, other revered traditional leaders here present, honorable ministers of state, the chief executive officer and board, and the management of KOA Research and Company Limited, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen of the media, I bring you greetings from the fraternity of doctors in Ghana. That's the Ghana Medical Association. My president, Dr. Frank Ankobia, had wished to be here, but he is in Geneva as we speak at the World Health Assembly. And in his stead, I am here with our executive member, female. She's joining me for us to just solidarize with you. I am Dr. Titus Bayo, the General Secretary of the Association. And joining me is Dr. Selom Kuchati, our executive member, female. And we bring you fraternal greetings. We wish to congratulate the board, management, and staff of KOA Research and Manufacturing Company Limited for the launch or relaunch of KOA mixture and this beautiful thing that we have just witnessed. The Ghana Medical Association is happy to collaborate with all stakeholders to promote the health of all persons in Ghana, as this is one of our core philosophies. As Professor spoke, he talked about the gap between those of us who practice orthodox medicine and our contemporaries who practice alternative medicine. I should announce that the association and doctors in Ghana are happy to collaborate, to work together. And we welcome the efforts by Prof to help bridge that gap. The GMA is mindful of the fact that we are in an era of evidence-based medicine. And as we extend a hand of fellowship for us to collaborate to promote the health of Ghanaians, we wish to commend the efforts of Prof and his team for gathering scientific evidence to back the use of KOA mixture. In that same vein, we commend you and your team for the scientific methods of production that gives confidence to consumers as well as prescribers. That said, we would say that Prof has set the pace, and we encourage other plant medicine or herbal medicine producers to follow or emulate these steps. It is the evidence we need. Once there is scientific evidence that it is useful, it is not harmful, why not? We are happy to use it. The Food and Drugs Authority is a very, very highly respected international regulator. And if you have the seal of the Food and Drugs Authority on the product, we have no basis to doubt that product. We would therefore urge that we all take what has taken place here very seriously. The submissions from the Honorable Minister talking about the processes that we must take our products through, the presentation earlier, and the submissions by Prof himself. And once we fulfill all righteousness in the production of medications, we are very, very happy to use such products. And when these products, as has been announced, are added to the essential medicines list, why would anybody not want to use them? We are happy to prescribe a drug if you know the dose, if we are able to explain what our patients can expect when they take that drug. If we are able to answer questions on toxicity, we are happy to use that drug. So the perception that we are completely anti-alternative or herbal medications, I think is erroneous. But gather the evidence, and we are happy to work with you. On that note, we congratulate the team, and we wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saitos Bayo. So as you heard him say, there's no conflict between the two. There's no conflict between alternative medicine or herbal medicine practitioners and the doctors as we have it. So we're very happy to hear that. And I believe we can give another resounding round of applause for that. So we have a few more presentations that are going to get us to appreciate what KOA Mixture Reloaded is all about. The next presentation is by Dr. Caleb Mauli. He's a Quality Assurance Manager at KOA. The quality management, he's going to be speaking on the quality management systems at KOA RMCL. A round of applause to him as he makes his way here.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. So, all protocol observed. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm here to do a very simple presentation on all you need to know about KOA Mixture. And as he rightly said, we're from the Quality Assurance Unit of KOA Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. Okay, so this is the facility where KOA is produced, an aerial shot of the facility where KOA is produced. The minister talked about an attempt to get manufacturing industries to be WHO GMP compliant. KOA has been working on that in collaboration with FDA. We have all the health and safety certificates. We are also working very hard to get ISO 9001 of 2015. Our facility is environmentally friendly. We dispose of our waste in an environmentally friendly manner. And we only use purified water in our production process. So KOA as a factory is fully CGMP compliant per FDA regulations. Now, the unique thing about KOA, as I said, is the production process. And that is how come you start off with green leaves, but you end up with something as fruity and aromatic and clear as water. If I ask you a simple question to tell me how herbal medicine is produced, I'm sure you will mention any of these methods here. Maceration, boiling, and the others. But none of KOA is not produced through any of these methods. They are well advanced methods here like supercritical carbon dioxide extraction, ultrasonic extraction, and microwave. But KOA is not produced by any of these methods. And again, if I ask you, next slide, if I ask you for, next slide, yeah, if I ask you for the solvents for production of herbal medicine, I'm sure you know about methanol, ethanol, but KOA
uses only water, so we don't have any other foreign material coming in. It's natural products and water that we use in our production. Next slide. So these are the ingredients. We have 6 azadirachta indica, which we call neem, osimum, nunum, spondias, what was the local name for spondias? Atoin, Vernonia, bitter leaf, Persia American, local pear, and Carica papaya, which is the pawpaw. These are the main. There's nothing hidden about it. All our ingredients are fully displayed. Now, the method of koa production. To get a finished product of koa, we use only fresh leaves. We receive, we sort, we mail, and then we do the maturation. We only use fresh leaves. We don't use dried material. So when the material arrives, it goes through the cleaning process, and then we use it. Then there is a unique extraction biotransformation process, which gives us very consistent low molecular weight compounds, which we now go through a process to bottle. And when it is finished, after bottling, we quarantine. Quarantine is to keep it until we receive certified result from our accredited, FDA accredited laboratory to tell us that the product is safe for release. That is only when the product is ready to go. So koa, after production, we keep it for almost a week to get certified result from our lab that it is okay for release before we let it go out. Now, to get from stage 1 to stage 5, we go through about 30 processes, record keeping, 30 production and general SOPs. And we also go through a couple of notebooks, about 21 general forms, and then 42 logbooks. What this means is that any bottle of koa you pick anywhere in the world, I can tell you by just looking at the batch number when the material arrived in the factory, the driver who brought it, even the car number who brought the leaves, the registration number of the car, who did the washing, the starting of the process, who received it, who did the sorting, who did the washing, all the way to the one who even released it in the store. Every process is documented. Then that is the unique thing, that is traceability. So if anything comes up anywhere, I can just by the batch number tell you where the problem is coming from and quickly solve that issue. And this is one of the things that is unique to koa. That's what the minister referred to in the CGMP, World WHO certification. This is one of them. So koa is almost there already. Now, what we've done with koa is to look at the components of the product. Tell me the time. To look at the components of the product. And so what we did was to send a sample of the product to Ghana Standards Authority for us to use GCMS, gas chromatography, mass spec. This is a high-grade equipment to tell us the components in there. So the next thing, we send a sample to Standards Authority. Next slide, please. This is a sample of the graph. I know it reminds you of your SHS mathematics. You don't want to remember those things. But this is just one of a sample of it. When you run the GCMS, you have over 160 hits. 160 hits means that the RT here refers to the retention time, the time the analyte is coming out. And we have over 160 of them. Each one corresponds to a compound that is in koa. Please, do you get it? So that is what we did. We did that, and we had over 160 of this. Next slide. Now, if you please go back to the previous slide, let me show something. Each retention time, each of the lines you see there represents a retention time. And if you, next slide, you translate that to the compound that it represents, you have all these compounds listed. So we have gone that far to look at the individual components in the product.
And the next slide would even show you some of them. One of these is 1,6-octadiene-3-ol. That is one of the compounds in there. If you can Google to find out what that compound does. The next one, strangely, in the list of the new compounds that come up, you find methyl salicylate. What is methyl salicylate? Aspirin. Aspirin is a natural compound. You will find something close to it in the mixture that we have. So KOA is a unique product in that it is loaded with so many bioactive compounds that benefits your body. That is how come its effect is general. It has a wide range of effects on your body. The next slide. So in summary, if you look at all these compounds, you are looking at esters within the mixture. You have short-chain fatty acids. For those of you who are interested, you can read about short-chain fatty acids and the role it plays in boosting your immune system. You have triterpenes. This is the essential oils that I was referring to the medical herbalist. And then we have loads of organic acids in there. So all these things, when you take the dosage of KOA, you have all these compounds working together. The esters, the short chain, the triterpenes, and the sesquiterpenes, and the organic acids, all working together to help you handle the disease condition or even for your general well-being. Now, the unique thing about KOA's technology is that it can also be used to produce other compounds, other products. And one of them is what Prof was referring to as the potential to generate so much annually. We can be used to produce intravenous and intramuscular fluids. It can also be used for various oral formulations, and even the residue. You can use it for teas and capsules and ointments. So the technology of KOA is quite unique in several aspects. So we have done the report that Dr. Kofi Donko presented on the safety and the chronic toxicity. This is the certificate that was issued by Mampong to tell us that the product is safe for use. And this is what FDA wants to see before they certify your product. So we have already gone past this one. Next, so based on that one, FDA granted us this certificate. So we have the certificate from FDA to proceed. Now, this is the unique product. This is the features of the product. We have the logo on the neck to take care of imitations. Like Prof said, people are going around doing all sorts of inferior products. Then we've also introduced the induction scene. I must say that you should expect a new pack coming out very soon. And then, yeah, back to that one. We also have a barcode to also help deal with faking. Next slide. So these are the features of the product. We have, as I mentioned earlier, is natural, 100% organic, with over 161 organic compounds. And it is colorless, free-flowing. And because of the esters, the chemical compounds that I mentioned earlier, they have fruity smell. And so the product also have a fruity smell. We don't use preservatives. KOA doesn't have any other added ingredient apart from the 6 leaves that we start with. We don't add preservatives. We don't add anything to it to keep it. It's natural. Then it's also scientifically tested and is safe. So in all that we've said is that it supports your general well-being, and it is good for your immune system and to deal with it supports the treatment of a wide range of conditions from bacterial infections, viral infections, deals with chronic conditions, and the others. Well, dosage. I will leave the dosage aspect. The next presentation will talk about the dosage in detail. The next slide, please. So we have future expansion plans, and the one coming up is the construction of the new $30 million facility that Prof announced some time ago. There is a plan to construct a new $30 million facility And that is where the new product that Prof mentioned will be produced, and we are expecting that projected to give us $32 billion annually. So in conclusion, KOA is produced from a world-class facility. For those of you who have had the benefit of visiting us, you know the kind of facility we are talking of is one of a kind. It's the biggest industry in Central region, and KOA, I can proudly say, is the biggest herbal industry in Ghana or West Africa. The unique blend of extracts, 6 leaves, to produce the product, it has no toxic effect, at least from the reports that have been given to us over 6 months. 20 times the dosage over 6 months. You don't see any effect on the liver and the kidney, the 2 vital organs that you'll be looking at. Then we've invested heavily on research and development and recruited the highest caliber of people to be in charge of the production process. And it is a potent immune booster, and it's good for general well-being, for treatment, supports the treatment of cancers, HIV, hepatitis. When you are on your medication, you don't go off it. You just add KOA to support it. That is what we are saying. So thanks for your time, and if you have any question, we can talk about it later. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So we're going to take the next presentation. And as you heard Dr. Caleb Mauli indicate, the bit about dosage is going to be taken care of now. And it's going to be by Mr. Francis Obeng Brenya, who is a quality control manager at KOA RMCL. He's going to be speaking about the unique features, registration, and dosage regimen of KOA mixture. A round of applause to him as he also makes his way here.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your anticipated audience. I will speak about what Israel talked about. Next slide, please. This is the home of KOA RMCL, which my colleague has talked about. But let's critically look at what is down there. Orthodox or conventional medicines are doing very well, but most of them, the sole aim is to minimize the disease and bring to a standard where treatment is achieved. But you can see clearly that the use of plant medicine is equally important, since these conventional medicines come with a lot of, I should say, side effects. And this is very important. People are wondering, the KOA FS and then the KOA mixture, what are the differences? Still, people call it KOA FS. There's no major change. The only thing is the branding and an upgrade in drug development. Now, after what we went through with the Food and Drugs Authority, the drug was updated from food supplement onto a herbal medicine for general well-being. So the next one, you see, these are unique features Doc has talked about already. What wasn't on Doc's part was the second point that tells us the drug is able to penetrate the blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier is in the brain and is a selective membrane that do not allow all medicines to cross. So if you have any medication that can cross this barrier, then it's a plus for you. KOA has gotten there long ago. A study that revealed that will be presented by the next speakers, so I will not waste much time on that. And in the morning, I was telling the medical herbalist the last point, because the product elicits immune response. That's why we call it the immune system booster. And when you have immune reconstitution, a lot of these side effects will come up. But currently, there are no known side effects. Most at times, you record headaches and then diarrhea, but all these are supposed to resolve in some few hours. Doc has talked about this one too, per the West African Pharmacopoeia. You can see there are 6 ingredients there, and each of them have unique phytochemicals that they present. Next slide, please. So these are some of the crude phytos that are from the 6 classes, chiefly from the Spondias mombin, which is one of the major leaves we use in our production. Next one, please. So you can see this has been used on several diseases. If you go to the treatment column, across the West African countries, the leaves that are mentioned earlier has been used in a lot of treatment. So you go on, I'll come back to that to explain that one. Next slide, please. There are nutrients in the leaves we use for production. And then some of the nutrients are listed there. Specifically, this work is also done by the next presenters, and they will give you more information about what they found. Next one, please. So our novel physical, bio, and chemical properties. Doc has talked about all this. And then I'll base the dosage on the last point, which is over 161 volatile organic compounds being identified, wide range of synergy. Next slide. This one too, Dr. Kofi Donko did justice about that. I'm reviewing all these because I'm going to base the dosage on all these slides. So what you need to know from the chronic toxicity testing, Doc revealed clearly that it's hepatoactive and then protective as well. He indicated clearly that part of the liver are revived when they administered this consistently for 12 months. Next slide. This one too is on the heart muscles, that the cardiac muscles. It didn't show any toxic effect on it. Take note of the dosage. 10 times therapeutic dose and 20 times therapeutic dose. I'll come over when I get to the dosage. Okay, next slide. All these are showing how the product, even when consistently used for a period of 12 months, does not have any lethal effect or deleterious effect on any of the internal organs. And from the GMA, this is a plus on a product. So, because that is what they are looking for before they can prescribe to people to use. The next one, please. So, our drug is certified. It means it can be prescribed in any health facility in the country. We are listed on the essential herbal medicine list. This also means if you walk into any of the health facilities that have piloted the herbal medicine practice, you can choose to visit them, and then it can be prescribed comfortably for you without any legal action. Next one. This is the reason why I'm here. Most times, most people do not get the desired effect of the product. This is actually the medicine that works. The medicine that works because if you go back and look at all the presentations and the slides I've shown you earlier on, it shows clearly that it can tackle a lot of things. Either you are using it in synergy with other products, or you are using them alone for your general well-being. The most unique thing about this product is you do not need to be sick before you take it. Why? Because it's an immune booster. It works on the immune system, and when the immune system is well sensitized, then you have no cause of worry to think about getting sick any moment. Now, for a general well-being, all you need is a 10 ml of qua mixture, 250 ml of a bit, let me use the word, a bit hot water. And Doc explained clearly, the reason why you are using the hot, a bit hot or the warm water is for reactivation. 1, reactivation. 2, facilitate absorption in the GIT. For your general well-being, you do not need much. You need just 10 ml twice daily, and perfectly it will do the work you desire for you. this morning we took time to explain why when you mix the mixture, I mean the 10 ml kwa to the 50 ml water, you need to drink immediately. We want to ensure that the external reactivation does not make you lose any of these volatile compounds we have talked about. How many of them are identified so far? I've talked about 161. So this should tell you why KOA is able to work on diverse defects. Even one compound identified has over 1,000 cases it can handle. So if you have 161 and basically you reduce it to even 100 cases per compound, how many cases are we looking at? So getting to understand this is very vital for you to get the desired effect of the product. And then the next one, when you want to use the product to support any treatment, this must be critically noted. You need to double the dosage. Why? Because we want to ensure that within the 12 hours before you repeat the dose, at least these compounds are still there that you need to replenish for you to get the desired activity you want the product to do. Back to the slide from the chronic toxicity testing. How many times the therapeutic dose doesn't have a lethal effect? They did it 10 times, they multiply or increase it to 20 times, and still no lethal effect. This means that as a medical practitioner or a prescriber, if you have a case that is very severe, you can vary the dose. Please, do you see what I'm seeing on that slide? You can vary the dose as many times as you want to use, depending on the severity of the case you are handling. Okay, next slide, please. So I've talked about this already, and I think I'll finish now. Thank you very much for your attention. If there are any questions too, we are available, we can answer.
Thank you very much, Francis. We have some of our major distributors here. Mrs. Gertrude and the husband, Nano, you are here. Thank you very much for coming, Akwaba. And we have a strong team from Republic Bank, Ghana, Winneba branch, and of course, some from the regional office here in Accra, Mr. Dan Mohenu and Abdul Jana Aktulu from the commercial and retail side. Are you here? Republic Bank. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, so as Deladem goes on with the introductions, I also have my own acknowledgements. Acrobat is still around. Acrobat, as I told you, I'll be taking the photo with you. I'll pay you the 20 safer. We're going gradually getting to the climax of the presentations. There are two other presentations that will be coming. The last two, they'll be having them together. But right now, let's get ready and welcome Professor Augustine Oklu. He's the Dean of the School of Biological Sciences at the University of Ghana. And he is going to be speaking on a retrospective study on the effect of KOA-FS and a herbal immune booster in HIV and hepatitis B infected individuals. A round of applause to him again.
Good afternoon. All right, thank you very much. I think one important thing that coronavirus did to the world is that it has succeeded in making viruses very popular. So now I'm very sure when you ask even a 7-year-old, he or she will tell you, I know about viruses. Viruses are with us. They've been with us for all this while, and we know that they cause kind of some critical conditions, and we need to find a solution to viruses. Somewhere, I think this week or last week, we've started hearing of monkeypox virus. So these are very small, tiny organisms, but they actually challenge our existence as human beings. So what I'm presenting to you is a small study that we did on KOA. We call it retrospective because we look at data on people who are using the product. So we call it retrospective. So you can go back, in science, you can go back and see how those using the product, how they are faring, or what is the product doing to them. So this is a retrospective study on those with HIV and Hep B who use KOA mixture. So I've mentioned already what viruses are, and then the situation with the finding solutions to viral conditions. We know that for Hep B, we have vaccine. For HIV, we don't have vaccine. We only have antiretroviral medicines. Proceed. So herbal medicine, as we know, has helped the world since before Christ and is still helping the world. If you look at the last point, even today, over 252 drugs that medical doctors use have some foundation from herbal medicine, including the anti-malaria that we use today, the Coartem and the rest. They all coming from herbal medicine. Next. Okay, so KOA has been talked about. They show you how it's produced from some advanced technology. We're able to get a product from a herb that looks like water, and that's quite interesting. Let's move on. So the objective here that we looked at is to see how those with these two conditions using KOA, how they are faring, and whether KOA is a possible solution for the management of HIV and Hep B. So that methodology, we screened 150 folders from patients with the hope that at least we have people who have two results. So before they start KOA, they have a viral load result, and then after a period, they also have another viral load result. So those are what we were looking at, because that's what will help us know how they are faring as they use the medication. So out of the 150, we found 74 patients that have data that we can use for HIV, and then 13 for Hep B. And then the age is between 12 and 60 years. Next. Yeah. So for HIV, we found duration. Some use it for like 1 month and some up to 23 months. The table shows you the various proportions. Okay, so this is the viral load that we found before they went on the KOA mixture, and then after we analyzed the results. So before, you see that the viral load is high, and then when we analyze the results, some after 1 month, 2 months, you found a decrease. But this decrease is not statistically, that's scientifically, statistically significant. But we found that the medicine is helping the individuals. Next. So this another significant decrease in patients who have used. So as I told you, some have used for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So we look at those who have used it for at least 3 months. And again, you see a decrease in viral load for these individuals. Then we look at those who have used it for at least 6 months. Again, we've seen a decrease, but not significant. So in all, we just look at the data as a whole to see what is happening to the individual. So you see that out of the 74, some experience increase, while some experience decrease. So individuals are responding to this indifferently. So out of the 44 that experience decrease, these are what we find. What we found. You will see that some, the decrease is just about 20%, some 40%, and then you have about 40% of them that have a decrease of more than 80%. So that's, again, what we found. Then, in the 74, we look at those who are actually benefiting. So 19 of them seem to be having a very good improvement. Here you see a statistically significant decrease in viral load in 19 individuals. Hep B, duration of use among the Hep B individuals is just about 1 to 10 months. Let's proceed. So for Hep B, you see a significant decrease, statistically significant decrease in the Hep B DNA in this patient. You have a p-value of 0.002. Next. So this is not, what we are seeing is not strange, because we talked about herbal medicine that is produced from herbs. And I'm just showing you some of the ingredients in KOA and their antiviral properties. So Azandiraka indica has been shown to have activity against dengue fever virus, Carica papaya, activity against dengue fever, Spondia morbin has activity against Ebola virus. So it's not strange that we're seeing some activity. Next slide. So in summary, what we can say is that KOA seem to have a positive effect in individuals who are HIV and have also those who have Hep B by causing significant decrease in some of them in viral load. Before I think this is my last slide, let me just say that we actually also did some in vitro assay on KOA on the coronavirus, a lab strain, not the actual virus. And again, we found some decrease. Not significant, but we found some decrease. So there's some activity there too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Prof. So we have two more presentations, and there's a final. The two of them are going to come together. But before I actually get them to come on board, I want to invite my friend, the legendary acrobat, to come on stage and join me. I have a few questions for him, because as you can see, he's someone who's been in this business for a very long time. We all know him. We all know Acrobat, don't we? Oh, you don't know him? Ah. Pacho, we know Bedi in Komoka Krebi. Okay. You know. Oh, I need a microphone. Make sure the microphone is working.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, yeah. Acrobat to me who say, name say, Jumana, wo, you know.
Yeah.
Why are che?
Yeah.
A dear name was secret.
Yeah. In English or Tree?
Give me English, because you're an international broadcaster.
Okay. The secret is the humblest, the truthless, and the respect. Do you understand?
Pacho chechimu kakra.
The humblest,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The truthfulness, no cray.
I see.
And the respect, ubu.
Okay.
I think now you are satisfied.
Now I am I'm satisfied. But me who say enche bia woko viral. Na che say abrochire no bia kan wasem.
Yeah.
Edien see yes na say e ba na sa no. Che say how did you see it? Who na saying?
Oh, I see it as a see. Because Israel, everything is determination.
Okay.
I'll take Prof.
Yeah.
To be example.
Okay.
Yeah. Prof is a Ghanaian. Still, he's a Ghanaian.
Yes.
And how he make his mind, he will make this score.
Yeah.
Very, very challenges. But this man stood on his feet. And times ago, he called me, that Mr. Kroboto, I want you to make advert for me. And I told him, the person in the problems, the person who is climbing a good tree is always pushing.
Food Japan,
You're very good.
But Canberra, who say who Canberra from?
The person who is climbing a good tree is pushing. So I saw that the Prof is climbing a good tree. So I'll use my talent, how people love me, to push him.
Thank
so
you.
I push him.
Thank you.
And now I'm still pushing him.
Thank
and
you.
I'll push him until time he will die. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So I recall, I mean, he's a legend. I recall one time there was all this talk about, they interviewed me on radio and they asked me that where did I get my name Bobby from? And then there were some people who were saying that is because I like Bobby. And Akrobetu came to my rescue. On his program, Akrobetu Wokai.
Oh, yes, I remember.
On his program, he said, after saying everything else, then he said, everybody like breasts. That was how he rescued me. All right, so we have the final set of presentations, and it's going to be by Dr. Akwesi Bwedu. That's almost sounding like Akrobetu's name. Is that you, Akrobetu? Dr. Akwesi Bwedu. So he's a researcher at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. And we also have presentation by Professor Manimbolo Inloto. He's a professor and researcher at the University of Limpopo, South Africa. They're going to do the presentations together. A round of applause to them as they make their way here.
I'm not very good at protocols, but I will say all protocols observed. Yeah? Okay, we are going to talk about what is done in relationship with KOA FS in South Africa. Just as a reminder, there was the study started in South Africa in 2013. So it's not like a thing of yesterday. But unfortunately, we didn't have at the time all the names of the KOA, what it contained, what was it used at the time. But we tried to do some sort of observational studies. Among few patients who were using it in association with their prescribed medicines. So the sample that we had at the time was really very, very small. We couldn't really go and boost outside to say that from the sample size that we had, look at this and look at that, and people will take you in a very, very serious way. We said, no, we needed actually to go a little bit deeper. So that's why we discussed with Prof. Duncan that we needed first to know what were the ingredients that were in the COA FS at the time. And when we got this information, we said, can we please try first to compare what is in the COA and what is in the plants that are claimed to be part of COA. So you see the first presentation, the first publication, go back through the top. So the first, okay, we looked at we made the comparison of the phytochemical composition of COA with the crude leaf extract of Vernonia, as well as the Persea americana, what was collected in the area where COA was manufactured at the time. So we said, okay, let us look, is there any similarity in between what the plant has and what the COA mixture has? So if you go through the work, you'll see that there's even the GPS coordinate where the plants were collected in the Cape Coast. So just because we said you should know that the composition may vary from one site to the other. So we said, let us make sure that we collect those plants from an area where COA is being manufactured. So this was the first paper that was published. Yes, and Akwasi will talk about that. We're going to go through this paper, then we go to the next one, and the last one. Okay? Up to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observed. Mechiacham. In fact, Prof, I think you may not understand me, but...
No, go ahead.
Okay. The program director took words out of my mouth. Where is Mr. Akwesi Buedi? Akrobeto. Mpachowe. He's gone. Okay. I know him by the name Who Knows Tomorrow. There was a time when somebody approached me and said that, is that your father? Look at your nose. And there in South Africa, they don't know the difference between Buedi and Buedu. So, that's you. That's you. So, maybe we are related, but who knows tomorrow? Right. From the work that I did, we compared the COA herbal medicine, all the phytochemicals in the COA herbal medicine, with the individual plants that were used in the production of COA herbal medicine. We then, can please go to the next slide. I don't talk about all this because it has been spoken about already. The collection and the rest, can please go to the next slide. Thank you. Comparatively, we looked at Vernonia amygdalina, that is your bitter leaf. We then also looked at your pawpaw. We then looked at all the other. Leaves that were used. We found out that there were 180 chemicals or phytochemicals that were found in the DCM or in the entire solvent. And out of that, 52%, that is 94 chemical compounds were available in Vernonia amygdalina, and only 45 compounds, that 25%, were available in the Vernonia amygdalina that was obtained from South Africa. This means that when we compared COA and the plant, we took that one from South Africa and that one from Ghana, we found out that 94 of the chemicals out of 180 that were used in COA were similar. Therefore, it means that the plant actually came from Ghana. We were comparing location, phytochemicals, and all that. Can you please move to the next slide? These findings may suggest that geographical location and climatic conditions may influence chemical composition of medicinal plants. As we saw earlier, we then realized that due to the geographical location, there were differences in the percentage composition. Can you please go to the next slide? Okay. All right. These ones have been talked about. Can you move on to the next slide? All right. The findings of this study confirm the presence of Persea americana and Vernonia amygdalina extracts as part of the composition of COA herbal medicine. It also confirms the profound variation in phytochemicals of the two plants or leaf extracts due to their environmental factors and geographical location. Please move on to the next slide. From our research, we found out that there were 6 plants, and one of them was also Spondias mombim, which is called Atwa in our language. Therefore, we decided to focus on Spondias mombim because we found some antiviral properties that were very important. This paper has been published in the African Journal of Biomedical Sciences. Those of you who want to Google, you can find it there. But in our review, we found out that Spondias mombim has got a lot of medicinal properties. Please move on to the next slide. This is one of the crucial ones that we did recently. The phytochemical compound extracted from leaf extract of Spondias mombim has potential lead against SARS-CoV-2. That is our current COVID-19. We then analyzed and realized that geranine, as one of the previous researchers said, geranine is a compound which has got antiviral properties, and it is one of the leading compounds in Spondias mombim. And therefore, we then we did an in silico study on all the compounds found in Spondias mombim. Now, before we go to that, we need to look at how to discover medicines or drugs, we look at the drug discovery. We need to start from in silico study, go to your in vitro, in vivo, then you then go to your clinical study. So we then found that basically or prominently, geranine was prominent or is a candidate, a potential candidate in the treatment, or let's say in the binding to SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, RDB, and the rest. Therefore, we realize that geranine is an important chemical that can be repurposed in the treatment or in the management of SARS-CoV-2. Although some of you who are learned here might know that the molecular mass of geranine is too huge, and therefore it does not obey Lipinski's rule. That is, every molecule that needs to be absorbed is supposed to be less than, a molecular mass of less than 500. But this is about 800. But what we then also found out in our pharmacophore, please go to the next slide, in our pharmacophore was that geranine is easily absorbed when it is broken down. And therefore, it can be broken down into simpler, smaller ones. In our pharmacophore, we found out that the compound that were obtained was much less. That is the one that was active in binding the SARS-CoV-2. So we went on to then project that also on Ebola. And we found out that it was very active in Ebola. From Professor Duncan's speech that he made, I then gathered that he also treated Ebola with COA. This confirms, although I didn't know, but this confirms that yes, COA can be used to repurpose or as a treatment for Ebola or maybe SARS-CoV-2. Please go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Please go back. Yes, I think there are some slides that are missing. All right, there are slides that are missing, but what we have also done is that we've done an in vitro SARS-CoV-2 that will be published very soon. It's very interesting. We have done work on Marburg virus that also shows that fragments of geranine were active on Marburg virus. Okay. All right. There's something missing. Okay, it's fine. Let's go. Okay. Okay, thank you. It's fine. Technical errors. All what we are saying is that spondius morbin, which is one of the ingredients or which is one of the leaves that were used in COA, has got antiviral properties. And these antiviral properties have been researched, and we've seen that they are active against COVID-19, they are active against Marburg virus, and it is also active against Ebola virus. We have also done an in vitro work on SARS-CoV-2, and then there is another work that we are doing on monkeypox. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for concluding on what we prepared. But from this forum, what we will maybe request from all the researchers that are in the venue here. Research, it works well when people work in collaboration. And I think that the presentation that on the viral load, we've been requesting data from Ghana, let us say it here, so that maybe everyone can hear us. Then we can also look from our own point of view. We exposed here what we published. We willing to collaborate with whoever is here. To avail the data, then we can all work together and come out with a true publications. That's how science is. I believe that we all heard here that we need to prove that KOA is working. We can only prove that if we put all our hands together and work as a team. That's how we can improve the situation and get all the needed information for all the regulatory authorities, be it here in Ghana or outside Ghana. It can be in other African countries or European countries, American countries. When a research is robust, then you demonstrate that many people have been involved. It gives weight to what you do. So we are expecting that we may engage further on clinical studies that are actually missing at this stage. So I'm talking to KOA publicly here, the manufacturer, those who support KOA, that let us put efforts together so that we may have more clinical studies to support all the chemistry or all the toxicity studies that have been demonstrated here. Today we heard that KOA has been listed on the list of essential medicine list. Okay? Okay, sorry. It has been listed on the list here in Ghana. That means what? From a pharmacologist point of view, we are going to go to a stage 4 of research. The first presenter talked about phase 1. Those are the toxicity, your safety studies. And all the other studies, they came between that phase 1 up to phase 4. So where we are today, your country has accepted that this product can be on the market. That means that we need actually to know what are the outcomes, what are the clinical implications to have this product on the list. That means that we need to go and engage with more robust clinical studies. And here, that's where actually we need to work together and come out with new findings. It will be better that the next time that we meet again, we talk as a team. Maybe you have 5 or 6 people presenting, each one bringing one aspect, like fighting for a piece of a cake. That is my take. Mr. Akwasi, if you have something to say. Okay.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. and Doc. And a round of applause to them as they make their way. So yes, we're hopeful that the next time we meet here, we would have seen some progress. There are just a few organizations here who would like to give us solidarity messages. And so I'll be inviting them to get here. We've heard from the Ghana Medical Association already. So let's hear from the Ghana Association of Medical Herbalists. We have their representative here. And as he makes his way, I'd like to acknowledge one more person, Albert Kwabna-Jumfo, who is the National Organizing Secretary of the Ghana Journalists Association. Albert, where are you? And who is also aspiring to be the GJA president. So, Albert, all the best. I wish you all the best in your endeavor. Please sit.
Hello. Good afternoon. I've just been told that we should do this in just about a minute. And so, with the permission of Prof. Duncan, I would want to stand on the beautiful protocols that he observed when he mounted the pulpit and say that we bring greetings from the Ghana Association of Medical Herbalists. We've heard a lot of presentations, particularly from researchers who have told us the beautiful things that have happened as far as research and manufacturing of KOA is concerned. And we also heard from our brothers and colleagues in Ghana Medical Association. So question is, what then is the medical herbalist, or who is the medical herbalist? Just in a minute. You know that over the years, we heard from the Center for Plant Medicine Research, established way back in 1975, to, as a statutory body, engage in research into herbal medicines. A lot of steps have been taken, but there was one particular cadre that was missing, and that is where the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology came in to train medical herbalists, who are the doctors who will be able to understand all the research works that have been done, the phytochemical analysis and all what the ingredients are, and what happens at the stage of the clinic or the hospitals. We just heard Professor Manimbulu say that the next stage is the phase 4, where we are to build clinical data from what happens to the patient or to the client who takes KOA mixture in terms of the clinical outcomes. Are there any side effects? Are there any adverse drug reactions we are supposed to take note of? What are the successes in terms of the clinical outcomes? And that is where medical herbalists come in. Currently, as we speak, medical herbalists are available in government hospitals and in private hospitals, and we are proud to say that we are available and ready to work together with KOA to make the next phase of research into herbal medicines a reality. So on that note, having duly observed all the protocols, I can see so many people here. Our own Madam, the director for TAMD is here, my professor, the head of department and all the others. We want to say a very big thank you to KOA for what they have done, and we look forward to working with you to make the research works even better. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. And then one final solidarity message, this time from the Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners. A round of applause as we welcome them to also give us their message, solidarity message, in just under a minute.
In just under a minute. Thank you. Ni chairman. I think I'm the only one who has said Ni instead of Nana. I'm told just under a minute. So, and to show off to you that I can read without glasses because of traditional medicine, I'm going to read. Yes, in Ghana, the government reimburses patients' consultations with traditional health practitioners through an insurance scheme, and is planning to do the same for the herbal medicines on the National Essential Herbal Medicines list. This is to ensure increased access and affordability to health services. In about 50 districts, hospitals in Ghana, we have traditional as well as conventional medications being dispensed at the pharmacy department. Professor Samuel Atu-Duncan, in his quest to elevate herbal medicine in Ghana through his groundbreaking research, has therefore developed products such as KOA mixture, indicated for general well-being. Hence, it can be taken whether you are sick or not. It is also being used as an adjuvant for managing and treating many chronic infections and cancerous diseases. This was confirmed by School of Pharmacy, KwaZulu-Natal University, South Africa, after identifying 161 organic compounds contained in KOA mixture. GAPTRAM therefore calls on the government to expedite actions on herbal medicine related issues so as to facilitate herbal medicine development in Ghana and beyond. And GAPTRAM again is ever ready to team up with researchers, universities, institutions to direct government in facilitating traditional medicine development in Ghana. Already, Ghana is known as the China of Africa as far as development of traditional medicine is concerned. But to keep the pace, it has become imperative for the government to establish a traditional medicine development fund. This will cater for all the research required for the development of the numerous herbal and traditional medicines practitioners in Ghana are endowed with. So, I echo Professor Samuel Atudankan and the KOA Research and Manufacturing Unit. Long live KOA mixture, long live Ghana, long live GAPTRAM.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I had indicated that that was going to be our last solidarity message, but I've been told that we have to take 2 more. Hopefully we can get them in under a minute. I would like to bring up here Dr. Imoro Faisal of the Kumasi South Hospital. A round of applause to him. And to the GAPTRAM rep who just spoke, the shade is well noted. He had to make sure that he will let everybody else know that I use glasses to read, but he doesn't use.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nana Chairman, Prof, all protocol observed. I'm Dr. Imoro Faisal, a practicing medical doctor from Kumasi South Hospital, currently doing my district at the Kuntanasi Government Hospital. I must say that KOA mixture is likely to be one of the most potent immune booster in history. And I'm not saying that by hearsay. It's based on the research that I have personally done into KOA, and then also from the observations that I've done. I have treated patients from those with peptic ulcer disease to hypertensive patients, to diabetic patients, to hepatitis B patients, to HIV patients, to patients with chronic osteoarthritis and all those things. And when I added KOA to the orthodox medications, the results was marvelous and fantastic. And currently, there has been a surge in chronic kidney diseases. I hope all of you are aware. And I've written a proposal to Prof that we can maybe convert the KOA mixture into an intravenous so that we can target the kidneys. There probably, if we're able to do that, it's going to be an extensive research. If we're able to do that, then we can cure almost all kidney diseases. And I hope and pray that maybe we can term it as KOA 48. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Imoro Faisal. So we'll have the final solidarity message from Dr. Anastasia Irinchi, who's the director of TAMDI. And because she's the final one, and because she's a lady, I think she deserves another round of applause.
Thank you so much, Israel. All protocol duly observed. I want to stand on a beautiful existing protocol since the beginning of the program. I think if I really want to speak, I have a lot to speak. But whilst the elderly people have spoken, I think I have little to speak. In our proverbs, they say that, so penyini jariwia na insuo so asa. So as the Director for Traditional and Alternative Medicine, Directorate of the Ministry of Health, and also the Acting Registrar of Traditional Medicine Practice Council, I want to ask to recognize the immense work that has been done by Professor Duncan and his scientific team. Please let's put our hands together for them. I believe so well that between us, we know that herbal medicines work. Herbal medicines are potent. Herbal medicines are used to alleviate symptoms and to cure diseases, both chronic and non-communicable and communicable diseases. Why is it that we are not giving the right space? We are not giving the right recognition. We are not giving the fair share of the national cake. Today, government has done so much to make sure that we develop traditional medicine by putting in place institutions like Center for Plant Medicine Research, all the universities working in the herbal medicine space, the Food and Drugs Authority to regulate products, that is herbal medicines, in the country, the Traditional Medicine Practice Council, backed by Act of Parliament Act 575 of 2000, to regulate and promote the practices and the practitioners of herbal and traditional medicine. Coming to governance, we have the Traditional and Alternative Medicine Directorate that was instituted since 1991 to make sure that we formulate policies, we direct policies, we monitor these policies and evaluate them to make sure that traditional medicine is well taken care of. Nana Chair, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, government has done his bit, but we know that in times of dwindling resources, we need to synchronize our energies together to make sure that we produce safe, quality, efficacious, affordable, and available herbal medicine products and practices. We therefore want to call on all philanthropists, such as our dear Professor Samuel Duncan. He has really demonstrated it to our GAFRAM members here. Please let's put our hands together for him. Thank you, Professor. When we close, I'm coming for my check also. Thank you. Now, what has been the gap? Why are we here? The reason why we are here is that the standardization, quality, all the issues that pertains to traditional medicine had been a source of concern to stakeholders, to researchers, to the general populace, and especially the regulators. Because now the whole world are looking for data. We have moved from the times of faith-based practice of herbal medicines to evidence-based and scientific-based herbal medicines. They are also looking for data because at the end of the day, if herbal medicine will shine from obscurity, it is data that will be our advocate. It is data that will be our passport. It is data that will be our trophy, so that the world at large will embrace us. So for the effort that has been put in KOA mixture by the KOA Research and Manufacturing Company Limited, led by Professor Atu Duncan, I think it is worth emulating by all. Like I said, I need a whole time, so I will cut short my speech by pointing out one major challenge and worry. I think that you are here leading the media. I want to appeal to the media that your publications against herbal medicines and traditional medicines must be put to an end. Because we have come too far for you to destroy the good works by successive governments, by our forebearers, and by those who are even currently working towards the development of traditional medicine. Make sure you validate your information before you put it up there, and at times the captions. Just Saturday, herbal medicine poses a threat. Thank you, it's very important, and I want to end it here. Set captions like herbal medicines pose danger to the people of Ghana. This is devastating. We can't sit in this country and we allow things like this to go on. If you care to know, the same quantum of help given to the pharmaceutical industries for them to develop and to manufacture local products in this country, if the same or even quarter or 10% of the resources will be given to the development of herbal medicines in this country, we will have a better story to tell.
Okay.
Listen. Just a minute. With all due respect. Listen. We all know. I am speaking from the point of being a specialist, both in the pharmaceutical area and both in the herbal medicines. And I want to tell you with facts that whatever we give, the medicines that we give to our patients, to our mothers, to our fathers, to treat various diseases, at the end of the day, they have devastating side effects. We are not here to compete, but we are here to tell you the fact that especially erectile dysfunction has been estimated that 1 out of 10 male adults will suffer erectile dysfunction in varied degrees, right from temporary to permanent impotency. Why? Because we are taking medicines for diuretics, antihypertensives, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, the antidepressants, the anti-tranquilizers, and all these ones, at the end of the day, leave our precious men to become impotent. So we are saying that if we get the necessary support, we have potential herbal medicines that we can formulate for these people to treat hypertension, to treat whatever disease that we have with minimal or no side effect. On this note, I rest my case and I say thank you. Thank you, Professor. Thank you because you support us so much, traditional medicine, and together we stand, together we move forward. Traditional medicine in the next 5 to 10 years shall become a force to reckon with. On this note, God bless our nation, Ghana, and make her great and strong. God bless traditional medicine industry, and may God bless us all. Thank you.
Wow. Dr. Mrs. Anastasia Urenchi. I don't know what to say. It looked like a political platform or a church. She's a preacher, so I understand very well. Thank you. Oh, a hand of applause for her again. That is an indication of how your people love you. They said a leader without a follower is going for a mere walk. This is a demonstration of your love for her. Yedamwase. We now want to invite Nana Chair to give us the closing remarks. If you can do it for Nana, he will make it short so you can close in time.
Hello? Hello? We would like to thank Almighty God for making this program a success. I would like to thank Professor Duncan, Professor Atu Duncan, the board chair, Dasibre Ewusi, the first and second CEO of the institution, the rep from Asantini, for the large acres they gave to this institution. On behalf of the government chair, we've got a market. So if we don't have the land, we can give you market. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Alam Chairman, for his support, the Deputy Minister of Ministry of Health, the workers, the presenters. I think we've all heard what everybody said. We will go home well equipped about COA. We need to demonstrate it, preach to those who are not here, to let them know what COA is doing. I would like to thank the researchers, both here and abroad, for their good job done. And lastly, I would like to thank Almighty God to lead us to our homes, keep us safe, and let us see what COA will do for us in the next century. God bless COA institution, and God bless the Ghana state. His Honorable Majesty, King Takitek Ochulu, and God bless our motherland, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, Ni, for that one. I want to take this opportunity to thank the board and management of COA RMCL for their guidance, which has brought us this far. Aiko. To the membership of GAFTRAM, who came here to grace this occasion, thank you very much. The Ghana Association of Medical Herbalists, some of you came all the way from Tamale and Salaga to join us. That is a commitment. Where? Navrungo? Huh? Banduri. Nakwanduri. That is the farthest point, eh? That is the word Burkina. Thank you very much. This is an indication of your commitment to our cause. And in due course, you'll be hearing from us. To the Ghana Police Service, for all the wonderful work you did, thank you very much. The military personnel who are here present, we thank you. Tamdi, Yamin Shrao, Dr. Anastasia, Yamin Shrao. And then to Nana Mensa Bonso, who came all the way from Kumasi. Nana Yadase, Yamin Shrao Bebre, Kacha Otumfo se Yechiano, Nakwesidano Suyeba, Niabetanechi. We invite Dr. McNeilamte to give us a closing prayer. But when we close, Gavtram, Tamdi, Gam, we have some interviews at the back. Don't be in a hurry to leave. Thank you. Bring Pag. Bring Pag. Executives, are they here? Okay.
Shall we remain seated as we raise our spirits and souls to heavenly praises in prayer? Lord and Savior, we thank you for your goodness to mankind. You have made this day available to us, and you have made this wonderful session available to us. Father, we thank you that you are interested in the advancement of the spiritual well-being, physical well-being, and all that mankind needs. And Father, we thank you that you have made available to us your messengers, people that you have set in place to advance the good work that you intend for mankind. Today, we lift Professor Samuel Antu Duncan into your holy care. Father, our prayer is that, Father, you lead him, that he will lead us. You provide all that it takes to make the well-being that you have set for mankind through him to be achieved. Father, we pray thanking you also for all that he has done for Gavtram and all that he needs for people to bring traditional medical practice into the limelight of standardness. Father, we thank you for that one too. It is our prayer that, Father, you would help everybody to benefit from what you have set forth for mankind. We thank you for the traveling mercies you have granted to our brothers who came from South Africa. We pray that you send them back safely. And everybody who has been here, we pray that you let everybody get to their destination safely, and we'll give thanks unto your holy name. We pray thanking you for everything. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right, so that's it. We will take some few pictures. Asamoah, where are you? And then we have some few interviews at the back. But continue to enjoy Koa Mixture. If you want to be a distributor for Koa Mixture, I'm going to put a number up. You can put it there and call. A team will attend to you. If you want to be a distributor or you want to sell Koa Mixture, you want to be a prescriber, whatever you want to do with Koa Mixture, just give us a call and we'll be there. On social media, Facebook, it's Koa Drugs. On Facebook, it's Koa Drugs, C-O-A, then D-R-U-G-S. You will get us. The number you can also call is 0246-731-371. 0246-731-371. When you call, the marketing team will come over. Thank you very much for coming, and God bless us all.